Okay, so this is going to be a little bit of a rant video, but look, bottom line up front. When you watch videos like Power Stroke Help and you watch some of those DPF emissions failure videos, notice what they say. A lot of it is operator error. It's not the truck. One of his last videos talked about DPF that had oil in the DPF itself. That's operator error. That's not the emissions fault. It's the operator error. Truck not being allowed to do a complete regen. These are most of his videos. If you notice, the chassis cab trucks. They're not personally owned vehicles that come in there. They're like ambulances, chassis cabs, construction vehicles. People who don't own these vehicles are the ones driving it, and a lot of times they don't know what they're driving. They don't realize the emission systems that are in those trucks and what it needs to be maintained. They're using the cheapest oils possible. They're running dirty fuels. I saw a video, I think it was made in Australia or something, like some TD, one of those Volkswagen or whatever, trucks, cars that had an emissions failure, right? Well, come to find out, it wasn't the car's fault. The operator was dumping transmission fluid in the fuel. Dumping transmission fluid in the fuel. Like that. Okay, look. 50, 60 years ago, dumping transmission fluid or two-stroke oil was okay. It helped lubricate the systems. Okay? Modern day diesels in general with an after treatment system, you can't do that. The additives in transmission fluids don't burn off in a diesel particulate filter. They will go into the DPF and then clog it. So what do you think's going to happen? Major back pressure and then problems. But that is due to operator error. There are hundreds of thousands of these vehicles on the road today that have these emission systems. Okay, I'm just talking about like Ford, or Ford sells like what, hundreds of thousands of these trucks a month, right? Same thing with Ram and GM. Not only them, Peterbilt, Kenworth. Okay, you probably got 1 million of these trucks on the road today that have emission systems. And what percentage of those have complete engine failure caused by the emission, not by the operator, by the emissions alone? What percentage? I don't know that percentage, but I probably tell you it's probably less than 1%. Less than 1%. I'm just throwing that out there, okay? Now, the emissions problems that are out there, I'm almost positive that it's all operator error, like individuals dropping transmission fluid in their fuel tanks, two-stroke oil in their fuel tanks. You can't do that in these modern trucks. Using low sulfur diesel, not ultra low sulfur diesel, in their trucks. Look, low sulfur diesel was prior 2007, okay? They still sell low sulfur diesel, and low sulfur diesel has 500 parts per million of sulfur. That's what helps lubricate everything, right? These trucks need ultra low sulfur diesel, which is 15 parts per million. Okay? There are diesel stations today that sell both. You got to be really careful when you're filling up at these stations, because one pump will say 15 parts per million, ultra low sulfur. The other pump will say low sulfur diesel. This fuel contains 500 parts per million and is not suitable for trucks 2007 and newer. You got to be careful, okay? So if you're pumping low sulfur diesel and you have problems, emission problems, that's your fault, buddy. Your fault, not the truck's fault. Not only that, the type of oil you use. 2017, new oil standard, CK4. CK4 and FA4. Now, FA4 are strictly 17 and newer. It is not backwards compatible. But our trucks, Ford, Ram, and GM, need CK4. Now, I believe the Baby Power Stroke, the Eco Diesel, whatever, they're certified to run FA4, which is fine. But on the heavy duties right now, it's just CK4. not CJ4. If you're running CJ4 oil in these newer trucks, you're going to have emission problems. And guess what? Is that the truck's fault? No, it is you, the errors, the operator's fault, not the truck. These vehicles are made by man. Man is not perfect. What man creates is not perfect. There are going to be issues. I'm not saying that there aren't going to be issues, but what I'm saying is that if you maintain your vehicle, use the correct oil, the correct fuel, you maintain your filters and your fluids, like you change them at the right time, not waiting 60,000 miles before you change an oil and your fuel filters. By the way, I got a buddy of mine, has a 13 Ram, bought it new, 2013, Cummins diesel, right? When I asked him about his truck, hey, when was the last time? He's 180,000 miles on his truck. It's still running fine-ish. He's got some problems, but it runs, right? He did not change his oil for the first, like, 60 or 70,000 miles. Let me repeat that. He did not change his oil for, like, the first 60 or 70,000 miles. When I heard that, I almost, like, collapsed. I was like, what? How is your vehicle still getting decent fuel mileage? I mean, how is your after treatment system even functioning? You know, he did not change his fuel filter for that same amount of time either. I had to go over there and do all that stuff for him, change his fuel filters and oil, because I was like freaking out, for his sake. Okay. Oftentimes, this is operator error. Look, those ambulances, chassis cab trucks, commercial trucks, box trucks, those are not run and driven by people who actually own them. They're driven by people who don't care about these vehicles. When they get them serviced, they get them serviced at like a Jiffy Lube, using like cheap diesel oil, right? Probably not even using the right CK4 oil, probably using CJ4 oil. That's the other thing. If you're taking your truck to like Jiffy Lube, you better make sure that you use the CK4 oil in your truck and not CJ4. CJ4 is not compatible with 2017 and newer. You need CK4 oil because the after treatment system is more advanced, and you don't want to poison your after treatment system. Okay? A lot of these failures, particularly the ones on power stroke, even that one video, right, talking about there's oil found in the diesel particulate filter. That's operator error. The individual driving that box truck didn't care about the vehicle. They mentioned that when it started having issues, the guy just kind of kept going, right? That's operator error, not the truck itself. Had the truck been maintained, used good oil filters, oil changed at the proper time, allowing the truck to do full, complete regens, there wouldn't be an issue. Anyways, look, bottom line is this. No one's perfect. Nothing made by man is perfect. There are issues. But you can reduce the issues if you, the operator, maintain your equipment. Allow the vehicle to complete a full regen. One thing I hated about the Ford is that I'll be driving the highway 5-6 hours. I start, and then like my DPF soot load is like at, I don't know, 2-3%. By the time I get to my destination, it's 100%. That's one thing about Ford that really irritated me. I get to my destination, now it decides it wants to go into an active regen. What do? Do I just go to my destination? Or do I want to allow the truck to clean itself out so that I don't have any problems? Me being me, I would drive the extra 20-30 minutes it needs to do a full regen. Then I would go to my then I would finally make my way to my destination. Most people don't do that. 99.9% of people don't do that. Okay? You got to take that in consideration. They don't. I may get some comment on the I do. Okay, great. Are you 99% of the people? No. Just like me. I am not 99% of the people. I am the guy that's like, truck's about to go into regen. I got to maintain my vehicle, so I'm just going to drive an additional 20-30 minutes, even though I'm tired and I've already driven 5 hours, but heck, I want to make sure my truck is maintained. That's one thing about Ford that really irritated me. Every time, active regen, at the end of my drive. So I'd tack on another 30 minutes or whatever. Ram, on the other hand, they have it packed down. The truck remains clean as I drive because the diesel particulate filter always remains above 650 degrees Fahrenheit to conduct a passive regen. And that's from start to, like, that's from the beginning of my drive to the end of the drive. The diesel particulate filter never gets, it just remains at like zero, practically zero, because it's always in passive regen. As I drive, it's just cleaning itself out as I drive. So when I get to my destination, I start at zero-ish. I get to my destination, I'm still at like 0-ish% full. Whereas the Ford, I start at like zero-ish. By the time I get to my destination, I'm at 100%. Irritating, you know? But most people don't do that. As a matter of fact, a lot of people don't even know what's underneath their truck. They just start the truck and go. As my friend, I'll just push the button and it goes. I'm like, yeah, but you gotta maintain it. It's not a gas vehicle. Diesels are like, they're high maintenance. You know. Anyways, like I know this has been a bit of a rant, okay, but just understand. Look, these videos are to hope people wake up. You know, these diesels. I mean, they are high maintenance. I mean, sure, some people will just buy these to look pretty and, I drive a diesel. That's great. I've been driving diesel since I was like 15. So these trucks are kind of all I know. I mean, the Cummins diesel, I've had 5 of them. These diesels are just all I know. It's what I've driven. So I keep, but I know these trucks. I take care of them. I don't have issues. I mean, I had a brief issue with my 16 Ram Cummins. I made a video about that, but after trial and error, I eventually just dumped like a bottle of Diesel Extreme, Hot Shot Secret Diesel Extreme, and it cleared out my DPF. It cleaned the system out, you know. But anyways, this video is just a complete rant. So I don't mean to offend anybody, but this is my channel. I mean, if you don't like it, then don't watch it. You know, you can come out here. I mean, I allow comments sometimes. Sometimes I don't. Sometimes I get those irritating kids who just delete. Oh, okay, great. That means nothing to me. Okay, I want to remain a law-abiding citizen. Okay, I like a good, clean truck. I like a quiet truck. In the past, I didn't, but I'm older, and I do now. So, anyways. So summary. These trucks are fine. There's millions of these trucks on the road. You may be able to find 1 or 2 reported issues, but 1 or 2 reported issues out of like a million of these trucks. I'm talking Ford, Ram, GM, Peterbilt, Kenworth, White Star, and so forth. On the road today, 1 or 2 is nothing. Okay. All right, so maybe not 1 or 2, but let's say you find 50 reported issues on some forum that they're complaining about, but they fail to tell you that, oh, well, I've done this, I've done that, I've dumped this in the fuel, and I don't use the right oil. They don't tell you that. They just said, my truck blew up. I don't know what's going on. I hate emissions, blah, blah, blah. Okay, well, why did it blow up? Were you just driving it, then suddenly it just exploded? Or are you using the wrong fluid? Are you using the wrong oil? Did you dump something in the fuel? Did you accidentally put diesel exhaust fluid in your fuel tank? I mean, come on. Again, back to that Power Stroke video, Power Stroke Help video. There was oil in the diesel particulate filter. Oil. Something royally was going wrong there. And it was clearly operator error, because I guarantee you there was something going on way before that DPF. That engine failure was the culmination of a problem that started way before and wasn't caught. Or the operator, who probably doesn't own the vehicle, probably some slack jock yokel driving the truck for work, didn't care and was like, yep, I'm just going to keep going. Right? That's also the case with a lot of these errors. That's the kind of people that are having problems. Okay? I'm not saying one or you two people are having issues, because yeah, sometimes you do have issues. But again, out of like a million trucks, one or two problems, or 50 out of a million is nothing. Nothing. Means nothing. Okay? It's just simply, okay, it's like an iPhone. There's millions of millions of iPhones out there. You're gonna have some that's gonna have problems. Fine. Take it in. Get it fixed. Move on. Okay, for real this time. Rant over.